Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Today we'll be talking to Sozan Fahmy. Sozan is our Iraq coordinator. She's based in Kurdistan, northern Iraq. Sozan herself is Kurdish, and she's been with Khalsa Aid for about 6 years now. So we'll have a little chit-chat to talk about her experience with Khalsa Aid, what Khalsa Aid means to the refugees and IDPs, and what the impacts it made in the region. So let's just get straight down to it. Sozan, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Hello, thank you so much. Thank you for having me today.
So now, before we begin, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you were doing before you met Khalsa Aid, and then we'll go into how you became involved in Khalsa Aid.
Okay, so my name is Sozan, and I'm 25 years old. I'm from Kurdistan. I'm Kurdish. And before I joined Khalsa Aid, I was just a new graduator. I just graduated from Computer Institute. I studied web designing, and I was working with a local organization, and that's where I met. I actually met you, Ravi, when you guys first came to help the Yazidi girls who were escaping ISIS.
Yeah, that was 2015, I think, was it?
15, yeah.
About 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago. So now in the 5-6 years, I mean, a lot of people, they see you involved with Khalsa Aid. Can you tell us what impact Khalsa Aid has had with the refugees and IDPs in the region?
I would actually say a story about last year when the Syrian refugee came in, no water, no food, nothing in the camp. It was just an emergency case there. And when we started delivering, we were the only one that started delivering the water in the camp. And people just like, they didn't know what, at the beginning, they didn't know who Khalsa Aid were. And then they were like just shouting Khalsa Aid everywhere. Whenever they needed something, they would go say, "Where's Khalsa Aid? Where's Khalsa Aid?" Because they know that's a place where you go and you get the help right away. So to be honest, like Khalsa Aid have became a family. I wouldn't say it's an NGO coming to help and all that. I would say it became a family close to these people, because these Yazidi people or the Syrian refugees, when they came, they've lost people, they've lost their homes, and they found hope with Khalsa Aid. So yeah, it's just a family to people who have lost a family.
Yeah, I mean, for us, we've been working in the region for several years. And I think the weirdest thing for us is when we work in areas which was probably occupied or threatened by ISIS, and then people escape in the area, they see people with turbans and beards going in. I think that was a bit of a shock for some people, right? Because they've never seen Sikhs before. They only remember turbans and beards with ISIS. So that was a bit strange for us and a bit dangerous as well, wasn't it, the situation?
Yeah, when we were distributing food packs in the camp for the families who were escaped ISIS, they were scared of our volunteers because they had the beard and they had the turban. Some girls were even, scared to get out of the tent and, see you guys. But then they started to know you guys, started to know more. And the one thing that everybody mentioned about Khalsa Aid, and one thing that I love, that they never stop. NGOs come and go. I would say a couple months a year, they go and they never come back. But for these people, that Khalsa Aid was the one group that always came every single time they need help, every single month, every single day. So they were never disappointed, I would say, by us. So
yeah, I think that's the key, that we kept going, we never stepped back, we kept helping.
Yeah.
And it's been a few years now, and we made some good friends. I think people, when we talk about impact and how we change lives, I think that's very key. That we've always stuck to our promises and we never backed out. So and also I think we have a very big Kurdish volunteer base, right? I remember some of the girls helping with the blanket and the boys. How many volunteers would you say we can call if we need to call some for help now, how many volunteers we could call for one evening, for instance? How many do you think in your city?
I would say if I would just only posted on my Instagram saying that we need around 50 people would contact me right away. So imagine if we just give it a time, say we need volunteers. Every day I get questions on my Instagram. I want to volunteer. I want help. It's amazing what you guys do. It's nice where you see so many young people, and especially girls, because we here in Kurdistan, I would say, in Iraq, we live in a very conservative society, and seeing girls coming out wants to help with us, it's a really nice things to see.
Yeah, I think that's one thing people don't understand being in the West, that you're a coordinator for Khalsa Aid, and being a girl is very challenging in a very conservative area where the girls are usually not allowed to do these jobs, and you've broken many barriers.
Yeah.
And you're inspiring other girls to do so. What do you think the role of women is in this present day? How much more can we work together to empower women? What's the role next step? Do you think we can empower many more young women to be leading organizations? Should the Western organization be looking at that too?
I honestly want to give a big thank you to you, Ravi, because you actually believed in me, and you always just push me to do more, even though sometimes I was like, hesitating, I would say. It's very rare to see women leading organization or head offices here. But I want to thank you for giving me this role, because of you giving me this role, I see so many other girls every day saying, wow, you inspire us. Wow, how can you do this? How can we do same what you're doing? So involving more girls with me gives more opportunity to more women in my country. So I really hope to young girls, because they are creative, they are strong, and they're independent. So I really hope more people can do what you did with me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, we don't need to do too much, because you're already doing a lot of work. It's just believing in the person and giving opportunity without looking at, if they're male or female. Unfortunately, in the West, it's the same situation, many organizations. So for me, it's important that we have more young women or women in the front line helping out. So I'm glad that you're on board. One last thing before we carry on, this concept of langar, which I think you made a video for as well.
Yeah.
What do you think of? What do you understand, and what do you think of the concept of langar? What does it mean to you as somebody who looks after refugees?
Langar, to me, it's a beautiful, beautiful concept, and I just love serving food to people, to be honest. It is one thing that everybody needs, is food. I really saw the huge impact of langar last year when refugees were crossing the border. We got 1,000 people were crossing the border every day. Hundreds of people were crossing the border, and what they were looking at that moment was that one fresh meal they can have, and they can give it to their kids. So for us, for so many people, that might not be a big deal, but when I saw that meal, like that hot lentil being served to that kid that was starving for days in cold, and serving that hot meal for them was life changing for them. So it's a beautiful concept, and I really hope that never stops, and we can spread that to many other countries as well, because it is really honestly saving lives.
Yeah, no, thank you. That's what the langar is, to reach out to those who need langar, which is a free community kitchen, and we don't differentiate who we serve. We get stuck in. And finally, what you've been doing in the last few days, what you've been preparing for the refugees. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so as we all know that the government have decided that IDPs should go back to their places. So they are returning slowly, slowly. IDPs are going back to their villages. The villages they're going back to, unfortunately, are being destroyed by ISIS, and they haven't been rebuilt or anything. So people are in a desperate help. So one of the requests we got from the people who are going back to Shingal, I would say, Shingal is the homeland of the Yazidi community who were attacked in 2014 by ISIS. So the one request we got from people was blanket, because they're mountains and it's very, very cold out there. So we are preparing 5,000 blankets for the families who have returned to Shingal.
Yeah, so this is families who after 6 years can return home, and ISIS have destroyed their villages, their houses, so they have to start again from rebuilding infrastructure, everything. It's a huge task, and it gets cold there. So Sozan and her friends have been packing 5,000 blankets, which will be going off soon, to help those people in the mountains. So it's very important. Thank you very much. And Sozan, there's so much going on. Even today you were delivering food parcels to the Yazidi IDPs. IDPs means internally displaced people. And so today they've been doing that as well. Is there any last message you want to give to people who are watching around the world?
Actually, yes. I just want to say, please, just because refugees are not on news and they're not on your TVs, just remember they're still here. They are still crossing the borders. They still need your help. So even if it's $1, that dollar means a lot for some of the families here. To remember these families who are now here, have lost many family members, and they're in desperate help for you guys. So yeah, the least you can do is just share the word and also donate so we can help more families out here. And just let's really, there's so much hate out there for refugees, especially. I just hope they change their perspective toward the refugees. They're just ordinary people like me and you, Rabi. And let's just, keep peace in this world.
Excellent. It is indeed a good point to finish on. Thank you very much, Sozan. I know you had a long day. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll join you when you're doing blanket distribution in the next few days or next week. So thanks again. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Sozan.
Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ.